Hello everyone, the chapter that we are starting today is the chapter of profit, loss and discount. Now, as far as this chapter is concerned, you will be requiring some basic knowledge of the chapter of percentages as well as the chapter of ratios. However, अगर आपने percentages या ratios का chapter मेरे साथ नहीं किया है, still it won't make much of a difference because इस chapter के अंदर जो कंसेप्ट्स यूज होंगे परसेंटेजेस एंड रेशियोज के वो इतने बेसिक हैं कि हम सबने उनको 7th और 8th स्टैंडर्ड तक की मैथ्स में अच्छे से मास्टर किया हुआ है. As far as the first lecture of profit, loss and discount is concerned, it will be roughly broken into 4 parts. The first part will be dealing with the concept of profit, loss as well as profit percentage and loss percentage. In the second part of the chapter, we'll be understanding the concept of multiplying factor. The third part of the lecture would deal with the concept of margin and percentage margin, and finally we'll end today's lecture with some advanced questions in profit and loss. Let us start with the very first part of the chapter, in which we'll be discussing the concept of profit and loss. Let us discuss the concept of profit and loss by taking a very simple example. Let us say that I am a stationery shop owner and I purchased a pencil box for 100 rupees. Now, since I'm purchasing it for 100 rupees, for me this 100 becomes the cost price. I sold this pencil box for 130 rupees, and since I'm selling this pencil box for 130 rupees, this becomes my selling price. Profit is defined as how much money I made by selling something. Profit सिंपल भाषा में कैसे डिफाइन होता है कि मैंने कितना पैसा कमाया. अब अगर मैं 130 रुपए का बेच रहा हूं और 100 रुपए का मैंने खरीदा था तो मैंने 30 रुपीज कमाया. मैथमेटिकली वी डिफाइन प्रॉफिट एज द डिफरेंस ऑफ सेलिंग प्राइस एंड कॉस्ट प्राइस. इन दिस पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल, सिंस आई वाज सेलिंग इट फॉर 130 रुपीज एंड परचेजिंग इट फॉर 100 रुपीज, माय प्रॉफिट एंड्स अप बिकमिंग 30 rupees. It is also useful to define profit percentage. Now, profit percentage is nothing but profit defined with respect to cost price. So what I'll say here is that I have to define my profit with respect to the cost price. So profit percentage ends up becoming P upon CP into 100. In this particular example, the profit was of 30 rupees and the cost price was 100 rupees. So at the end of the day, the profit percentage ends up becoming 30%. That's your concept of profit as well as that of profit percentage. अब जरूरी तो नहीं हमेशा प्रॉफिट ही हो, कुछ केसेस में हमें लॉस भी होता है. Let us say that instead of selling this for 130 rupees, I was selling it for 85 rupees. Now, since my selling price is less than my cost price, this is a situation where I'll be incurring loss. Loss is mathematically defined as cost price minus selling price. Now, why cost price minus selling price? Because as you can see, even in this example, cost price is bigger in magnitude compared with the selling price. So क्योंकि cost price selling price से बड़ा है, इसलिए हम loss निकालते हुए cost price में से selling price को minus करते हैं. In this particular example, I am selling it for 85 rupees and I am purchasing it for 100 rupees. So cost price minus the selling price. In this particular example, I am making a loss of 15 rupees. If I have to define loss percentage is also defined as loss in comparison to the cost price. So loss percentage in this particular example will end up becoming a loss of 15 rupees over the cost price of 100 rupees, or perhaps 15% loss. So far so good. This is a very easy and very basic example to understand the concept of profit, loss, profit percentage and loss percentage. Let us develop the concept further by taking a very simple example. The selling price of an article is rupees 720. Find the cost price if the profit percentage is 12.5%. It's a very easy question, and in this question I am given two things. I am given the selling price as 720 and I am given the profit percentage as 12.5%. There are different ways of solving the question. However, the most basic way of solving the question is to use the formula. In the previous discussion, we had developed the formula of profit percentage as profit upon cost price into 100. Profit is defined as selling price minus cost price. So profit percentage is nothing but SP और CP का difference divided by CP into 100. इस क्वेश्चन में मुझे SP दिया हुआ है, प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज दिया हुआ है लेकिन सीपी नहीं दिया हुआ. लेट अस अज्यूम द कॉस्ट प्राइस टू बी एक्स. सो कैन आई से प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज इज 12.5, सेलिंग प्राइस इज 720, कॉस्ट प्राइस को मैंने एक्स सपोज कर लिया. सो दिस इज व्हाट द फॉर्मूला शुड लुक लाइक. इसको सॉल्व किया जा सकता है. सॉल्व करने के लिए सबसे पहले मैं 100 को डिनोमिनेटर में ले जाता हूं. सो व्हाट डू आई गेट ऑन माय लेफ्ट हैंड साइड is 12.5 divided by 100. 12.5 divided by 100 is equals to 720 minus x divided by x. कटिंग करने पे ये 1/8 बन जाता है. क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन पे what I get here is x and 8 times 720 minus 8x. ये 8x को इधर लाकर ऐड कर लेते हैं. So that gets you 9x is equals to 8 times 720. Now 9 8s are 72. So this gets you the value of x as 640. Now this is very easy way of solving the question, but this also happens to be pretty lengthy way of solving the question. And frankly अगर हमने यही काम करना है तो शायद 7th स्टैंडर्ड का 8th स्टैंडर्ड का मैथ्स भी काफ़ी है. इस क्वेश्चन को करने का एक सेकेंडरी मेथड रहता है. काफ़ी सारे स्टूडेंट्स को वो ऑलरेडी स्ट्राइक भी किया होगा इस पॉइंट तक. सिंस वी आर डिफाइनिंग प्रॉफिट एज सेलिंग प्राइस माइनस कॉस्ट प्राइस, since I am defining my profit as selling price minus cost price, then this equation can also be written in the form selling price is equals to cost price plus the profit. See, यहाँ पे cost price को अगर मैं यहाँ पे जो cost price है उसको अगर मैं x सपोज करता हूँ और profit 12.5% है, तो can I say selling price will end up becoming x plus 12.5% of x, and ये selling price मुझे 720 दिया हुआ है. Now 12.5% can be written as 1/8. So x plus 1/8 of x is equals to 720. Okay. Now अगर हम यहाँ पे 8 को LCM लेते हैं, so what do we get here is 8x plus x is equals to 720. So 720 is equals to 9x by 8. Now this is again 80. So x ends up becoming 640 rupees. सेकेंड मेथड फर्स्ट मेथड से थोड़ा सा छोटा है लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा छोटा ये भी नहीं है. देयर आर 2 other methods of solving this question. A third method of solving the question will require some basic knowledge of ratios. I am considering 2 quantities here, the cost price and the selling price. This is something that I know as 720. However, this is something which I do not know. What I'm going to do here is that I'm going to compare cost price and selling price in the form of a ratio. If I suppose my cost price to be x compared with this value x, can I say selling price is 12.5% more? Since it is 12.5% more, is it safe to say that it is 1/8 more? सिंपल भाषा में अगर मैं इसे x मानता हूं और प्रॉफिट 12.5% है, तो कैन आई से सेलिंग प्राइस इस x से 12.5% यानी कि 1/8 ज्यादा होना चाहिए. सो कैन आई से सेलिंग प्राइस कैन बी थॉट ऑफ एज x plus x/8 or perhaps 9/8 of x. Now this x was cost price. If my selling price is being defined as 9/8 of cost price, another way of interpreting the same thing is that the ratio of selling price and cost price is 9/8. Now this thing is given to me as 720. So to maintain the ratio, this has to be 640. This is a little bit more advanced method and does require you to have some basic knowledge of ratios. However, I don't think it is very difficult to master, and with some practice we can start thinking of the question in terms of ratio. So next time you encounter such a question, you have to think of the question कि अगर 12.5% बढ़ा है तो 1/8 बढ़ा, that means ratio 9:8 हुआ. So 9 के corresponding 720 है, so 9 parts 720 है, 8 parts have to be 640. That's the third method of solving this question. The final and the fourth method of solving the question will require us to learn the concept of multiplying factor. Let us understand the concept of multiplying factor using a very simple example. Let us say I purchased एन ऑब्जेक्ट एक्स फॉर 100 रुपीज और मैं चाहता हूं कि जब मैं इसे बेचूं तो मुझे उसके ऊपर 20% प्रॉफिट मिले. सो बेसिकली व्हाट आई एम सेइंग हियर इज दैट आई परचेज समथिंग फॉर 100 रुपीज and I want to make a profit of 20% by selling it. What should be the selling price? Of course, the answer is 120. Okay, now let us understand how we are able to get the answer 120 mathematically. What we are saying here is that the cost price has been given to me as 100 rupees. The profit that I want to make here is 20%. Now obviously selling price is defined as the cost price plus the profit. So in this particular case, I'll say that the cost price is 100 and the profit is 20%. So that means it will be 20% of 100. So selling price is being defined as a cost price of 100 plus 20% profit in it. That gets you the selling price as 120 rupees. Now this was an easy example. All of us could have solved this thing orally. But अगर हमें इसी एग्जाम्पल में कॉस्ट प्राइस 100 ना दिया होता, what if the cost price had been given to me as x? Now what happens if I take the cost price as x? Can I say selling price will be defined as, again, cost price plus a profit of 20% in it? So selling price is being defined as x plus 20% of x. Now this 20% of x, this 20% of x can be written as 20 by 100 of x. Now 20 by 100 of x ends up becoming 0.2x. So the selling price at the end of the game ends up becoming 1.2 times x. Now what was x? X was my cost price. So can I say in this particular example, selling price is 1.2 times the cost price? This 1.2 is what I like to call as the multiplying factor. मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर वो नंबर है जिसको अगर मैं कॉस्ट प्राइस से मल्टीप्लाई करता हूं तो मेरे पास सेलिंग प्राइस आ जाता है. मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर इज बीइंग डिफाइंड एज अ नंबर व्हिच व्हेन मल्टीप्लाइड विद माय कॉस्ट प्राइस gets me the selling price. In this particular example, the profit percentage was 20% and therefore the multiplying factor ended up becoming 1.2. What if my profit percentage was 30%? Well, in that case multiplying factor would have ended up becoming 1.3. What if my profit percentage was 45%? Well, the multiplying factor would have ended up becoming 1.45. What if my profit percentage was 50%? Well, multiplying factor would have ended up becoming 1.5. What if it was just 5%? What if मेरा profit percentage सिर्फ 5% होता? उस केस में multiplying factor would have ended up becoming 1.05. So it's an easily recognizable pattern. I am defining multiplying factor as 1 plus p%, where p% of course represents the profit percentage. For example, जब मेरे पास profit percentage 20 था तो can I say multiplying factor would have been 1 plus profit percentage. Now at the end of the day, profit percentage, which is 20%, is nothing but 20 by 100. So 20 by 100 is 0.2. So that got me the multiplying factor is 1.2. इसी तरीके से अगर प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज 30% था तो मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर कुड हैव बीन डिफाइंड एज 1 प्लस 30% विच वाज नथिंग बट 1.3. अगर मेरे पास प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज 50% था तो मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर वुड हैव बीन डिफाइंड एज 1 प्लस 50%. नाउ 50% इज व्हाट? अगेन 0.5. सो मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर एंड्स अप बिकमिंग 1.5. व्हाट अबाउट 5% प्रॉफिट? वेल, अगेन मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर इज डिफाइंड एज 1 plus 5%. Now this 5% can be written as 5 by 100, which is nothing but 0.05, so that the multiplying factor ends up becoming 1.05. Okay, so as far as profit is concerned, using that profit I can define the multiplying factor as 1 plus profit percentage. आपको कोई भी प्रॉफिट की वैल्यू दी हो, आप उसके कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर डिफाइन कर सकते हैं. क्या इसका रिवर्स भी ट्रू है? ऑफ कोर्स ट्रू है. अगर मेरे पास मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर 1.5 है तो इसको देखकर मैं कह सकता हूं कि 1.5 मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर कहां से आया, जब प्रॉफिट 50% था। सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड हियर इज दैट कि अगर आपके पास प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज दिया हुआ है तो उसको आप मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, और अगर आपके पास मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर दे रखा है तो उसको देखकर आप प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज निकाल सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मेरे पास यहाँ पे मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर 1.43 था तो इसको देखकर मैं सीधा कह सकता हूं कि भाई मेरा जो प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज है वो 43% है। The essence of the concept that we have discussed here is, number one, multiplying factor is defined as a number which when multiplied with the cost price gets me the selling price. Number two, multiplying factor is defined as 1 plus p% where p% represents the profit percentage. It is not difficult to extrapolate this concept for loss as well. If I am making a loss of, let's say, 10%, the multiplying factor will end up becoming 1 minus 10% or perhaps 0.9. If I am incurring a loss of 70%, multiplying factor will end up becoming 1 minus 70%, 1 minus 0.7 or perhaps 0.3. तो अगर मैं मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर को प्रॉफिट के लिए डिफाइन कर सकता हूं एज 1 प्लस p%, तो मैं लॉस के लिए भी मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर को डिफाइन कर सकता हूं, दैट विल बी 1 माइनस लॉस परसेंट। लेट अस take our understanding of multiplying factor into fractions now. As we all know, percentage values and fractional values are interconvertible. For example, if I have 50%, then that 50% can be expressed as 50 by 100, which becomes 1 by 2. So what I'm trying to say here is that 50% and 1 by 2 are equivalent. Let's take another example, 25%. If I consider 25%, then that 25% can be expressed as 25 by 100 to give 1 by 4. So again, 25% and 1 by 4 are interconvertible. What we learn here is that percentage values and fractional values can be interchanged. While learning the concept of multiplying factor, बहुत सारे questions हमारे पास ऐसे रहते हैं जहां पे मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर को एक डेसिमल फॉर्म में बनाने की बजाय इट इज मोर यूजफुल टू create the multiplying factor in terms of a fraction. For example, if there's a profit of 20%, if there's a profit of 20%, then I can obviously say that the selling price will be nothing but the cost price plus 20% of profit in it. Obviously, from here we will get the multiplying factor as 1.2. But we know that 20% is equivalent to 1 by 5. So instead of taking 20% here as 0.2, I could have expressed the entire thing as x plus 1 by 5 of x. Now if I write my selling price as x plus 1 by 5 of x, that gets you 6 by 5 of x. X was my cost price, so can I say my selling price is 6 by 5 of x. The point I am trying to clarify here is that ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हमें हमेशा मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर को एक डेसिमल फॉर्म में ही छोड़ना है। बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस ऐसे होते हैं जहां पे उसको फ्रैक्शनल फॉर्म में छोड़ना ज़्यादा एडवांटेजियस होता है। टेक एन एग्जाम्पल हियर. Let us say that the profit that we are trying to make is 33.33%. Now, if the profit that I am trying to make is 33.33%, is it better to express my multiplying factor as 100 plus 33.33 or 133.33? Or rather I should express my multiplying factor as 1 plus 1 by 3 or perhaps 4 by 3? Take another example. Let us say that the percentage increase or the profit that I am given is 12.5%. Now, is it better to write the multiplying factor as 112.5 or it is better to write the multiplying factor as 9 by 8? Most of the time we will be utilizing this interconvertibility of fraction and percentage values to simplify our questions. What I'll be doing next is that I'll be reconsidering the question that we have already done, and we will be solving that question using the concept of multiplying factor. The selling price of an article is rupees 720. Find the cost price if the profit percentage is 12.5%. ये एक ऐसा एग्जाम्पल है जिसको हम ऑलरेडी 3 अलग अलग मेथड से कर चुके हैं. Let us try solving this example using the concept of multiplying factor. As far as this question is concerned, selling price has been given to me as 720 while the profit has been given to me as 12.5%. If I want to derive the multiplying factor here, can I say multiplying factor, अगर मैं इसको decimal form में express करता हूँ तो it will become 1.125. But the more useful thing to do here is to understand that 12.5 is 1 by 8. If your 12.5 is 1 by 8, then your multiplying factor is going to be nothing but 1 plus 1 by 8 or perhaps 9 by 8. ये चीज को आप orally solve कर सकते हैं. You can directly think of your question in terms of an increase of 1 by 8. If something increases by 1 by 8, it becomes 9 by 8. So can I say my multiplying factor is 9 by 8, which implies that selling price is 9 by 8 of the cost price. Now this selling price is given to me as 720. Solving this relation, I can quickly define the cost price as 640. What we see here is that multiplying factor can help us cut some unnecessary steps. हमने जो पिछले 3 मेथड्स यूज किए थे उन सबके कंपैरिजन में मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर ज़्यादा इजी और ज़्यादा सिंपल है. Let us try some more examples using the concept of multiplying factor. A sells an article to B at 20% profit. B sells an article to C at 25% profit. If the cost of article to A is rupees 144, how much did C pay for the article? Let us try solving this question using multiplying factor. A sells the article to B at a profit of 20%. Now can I say जब A ने B को ये आर्टिकल बेचा तो उसने 20% का प्रॉफिट लेकर बेचा. So can I say for B the price paid would be 1.2 times A. After all 20% प्रॉफिट पे मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर 1.2 बन जाएगा. फर्दर B ने C को ये आर्टिकल बेचा 25% के प्रॉफिट पे. Now can I say जब B ने C को 25% के प्रॉफिट पे आर्टिकल बेचा तो उसके लिए मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर 1.25 बन जाएगा. So can I say C is equals to 1.25 times B? Combining these two together, can I say that price paid by C is nothing but 1.25 times the price paid by B, which was 1.2 times the price paid by A. Now what is the price paid by A? It is 144 rupees. Let us simplify this question further. 1.25 can be expressed as 125 by 100. 25 से कटिंग करने पे what I get is 5 by 4. 1.2 can be expressed as 12 by 10 into 144. Now it is just arithmetic calculation. 4 3s are 12, 5 2s are 10, 72. The answer is 216 rupees. So what is the price paid by C? The price paid by C is 216 rupees. Now you can probably appreciate the fact that multiplying factor has reduced our calculation a lot. Otherwise अगर हम बिना मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर के इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने का कोशिश करते तो हम पहले A के प्राइस को 144 लेते, फिर इसके अंदर 20% का इंक्रीज करते, फिर जो हमारे पास वैल्यू आती उसमें फिर से 25% का इंक्रीज करते. It would have made the question pretty difficult. It is always advisable to convert your profit percentage into multiplying factor. This not only helps you solve the questions easily, but also helps you understand the question in a more logical way. Let us try another example here. A manufacturer sells an article to a dealer at 12.5% profit. The dealer sells the article to a customer at 16.66% profit. If the customer pays rupees 210 for the article, what did the article cost to the manufacturer? As far as this question is concerned, it says कि एक मैन्युफैक्चरर ने 12.5% के प्रॉफिट के ऊपर डीलर को बेचा और डीलर ने फर्दर कस्टमर को 16.66% के प्रॉफिट पे बेचा. Let us convert the entire question into multiplying factor. Can I say अगर प्रॉफिट 12.5% है तो that's like saying the profit is 1/8. अगर प्रॉफिट 1/8 है तो can I say the price paid by dealer will be 9/8 the price paid by manufacturer. और अगर डीलर ने कस्टमर को फर्दर 16.66% प्रॉफिट पे बेचा, बाय द वे 16.66% प्रॉफिट इज 1/6 का प्रॉफिट. अगर डीलर ने कस्टमर को 1/6 के प्रॉफिट पे बेचा तो कैन आई से मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर इज 7/6. So can I say price paid by customer is 7/6 of the price paid by dealer? Let's combine these two equations. Can I say that the price paid by customer is 7/6 the price paid by dealer, which is 9/8 the price paid by manufacturer? इस क्वेश्चन में मुझे कस्टमर का प्राइस गिवन है, सो यहां पर मैं 210 सब्स्टिट्यूट कर सकता हूं. सो 210 इज इक्वल्स टू 7/6 इंटू 9/8 इंटू द कॉस्ट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरर. इसका सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. 7 3s are 21, सो ये 30 बन गया. देन फर्दर दिस इज 3 2s are एंड दिस इज 3 3s are. फर्दर 3 से कटिंग करते हैं. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी 10. Okay, so what do we have here is 2 into 8 16 into 10. The price paid by manufacturer was 160 rupees. I assume everyone is understanding this question and the concept is pretty easy for all of us to handle. Now let us increase the level of difficulty. Let's try another example. Tejas purchases toffees at rupees 10 per dozen and sells them at rupees 12 for every 10 toffees. Find his gain or loss percentage. ये क्वेश्चन की लैंग्वेज आपको घुमावदार जरूर लग सकती है, लेकिन अगर आप क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा प्यार से एनालाइज करो तो आंसर आपके सामने है. पहली स्टेटमेंट को पकड़ते हैं. तेजस परचेजेस टॉफीज एट रुपीज 10 पर डजन. सी, अगर वो एक डजन टॉफीज 10 रुपए में खरीद रहा है, अगर वो एक डजन टॉफीज 10 रुपए में खरीद रहा है, दैट्स लाइक सेइंग वो 12 टॉफीज 10 रुपए में खरीद रहा है. यानी कि कॉस्ट प्राइस ऑफ 1 टॉफी इज गोइंग टू बी 10/12 ऑफ रुपी. नेक्स्ट व्हाट वी हैव हियर इज दैट ही सेल्स टॉफीज एट रुपीज 12 फॉर एवरी 10 टॉफीज. व्हाट डज इट मीन? इट सिंपली मीन्स वो 10 टॉफीज को 12 रुपए में बेच रहा है, विच इज लाइक सेइंग दैट द सेलिंग प्राइस ऑफ 1 टॉफी इज गोइंग टू बी 12/10 of a rupee. Now, if I try to solve this question, it is very easy to solve it just by using the basic concept of profit. Let us define the profit here. Profit will be defined as SP minus CP. So in this case, the selling price was 12/10. The cost price was 10/12. In order to further simplify it, let's take 120 as the LCM. So what do I have here? 144. 144 minus 100. That gets you profit as 44/120. If you want to define profit percentage, well, profit percentage is profit upon cost price into 100. Now my profit is 44/120. What was my cost price? Cost price was 10/12. इसको सिंप्लीफाई कर लेते हैं. 120 नीचे आ जाएगा, 12 ऊपर चला जाएगा. So what do we have here? 44 into 12 divided by 120 into 10 into 100. Now that gets you what? That gets you 44% as the answer. Now अगर हम ये काम कर रहे हैं तो गलत नहीं है, बट हमने एक्चुअल में मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर के कंसेप्ट को अच्छे से ग्रास्प नहीं किया. अगर आपको मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर का बेसिक फंडा या बेसिक डेफिनेशन याद है तो यू वुड हैव थॉट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन इन टर्म्स ऑफ मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर. कैसे? We had defined multiplying factor as a number which when multiplied with the cost price gets me the selling price. Basically मैं क्या कह रहा हूं? मैं कह रहा हूं कि selling price को multiplying factor into cost price की फॉर्म में डिफाइन किया जाता है. From here I can say that multiplying factor is SP by CP. If you understand what I've written here on the board, the answer is already in front of you. Since I'm defining multiplying factor as the ratio of selling price and cost price, and here I had the selling price and here I had the cost price. Using these two things, I could have directly said that the multiplying factor is going to be selling price by cost price. This would have got the answer as 144 by 100 or 1.44. Now if the multiplying factor is 1.44, that simply implies that the profit is 44%. Anirudh brought 8 lemons for a rupee but sells only 6 lemons for a rupee. Find his profit percentage. This question is pretty similar to the question that we have just discussed. Anirudh अगर 8 lemons 1 rupee में खरीद रहे हैं, तो can I say that the cost price of 8 lemons is a rupee, which implies that the cost price of 1 lemon is 1 by 8 of a rupee. He sells 6 lemons for a rupee. Now, if he sells 6 lemons for a rupee, can I say that the selling price of a single lemon is 1 by 6 of a rupee? As far as multiplying factor is concerned, we have learned in the previous question that multiplying factor is defined as the ratio of selling price and cost price, which implies that in this particular case, multiplying factor will end up becoming 1 by 6 upon 1 by 8. On solving, what you're going to get is 4 by 3 or 1.3333. Now, if your multiplying factor is 1.3333, that simply means that your profit percentage is 33.33%. Paresh sells 40 pencils and gains the selling price of 10 pencils. What is his profit percentage? परेश ने 40 पेंसिल्स बेची हैं और एज अ रिजल्ट उसको जो प्रॉफिट हुआ है वो 10 पेंसिल्स के सेलिंग प्राइस के बराबर है. Let us consider the question in terms of cost price and selling price of one pencil. Let us say that I am supposing the cost price of one pencil as X and the selling price of one pencil as Y. अगर एक पेंसिल का कॉस्ट प्राइस X है तो 40 पेंसिल्स का कॉस्ट प्राइस 40X हो जाएगा. अगर एक पेंसिल का सेलिंग प्राइस Y है तो 40 पेंसिल्स का सेलिंग प्राइस 40Y हो जाएगा. नाउ I define profit as selling price minus the cost price. As per my question, the profit that we have here is the selling price of 10 pencils. So can I say जो profit मुझे यहाँ पे हुआ है वो 10 pencils का selling price है. अगर एक पेंसिल का selling price Y है तो 10 pencils का selling price 10Y हो जाएगा. Next what I say here is that since profit is given as 40Y minus 40X and that is equivalent to the profit of selling price of 10 pencils, I can equate these two to create an equation. So 10Y is equals to 40Y minus 40X. That gets you what? That gets you 40X is equals to 30Y, which gets you the ratio of Y by X as 40 is to 30 or 4 by 3. Now what is Y by X? Y was selling price, X was cost price. So can I say this Y by X represents multiplying factor? If the multiplying factor that I have here is 4 by 3 or 1.3333, can I say that the profit percentage will be defined as 33.33%? If the cost price of 12 articles is equal to the selling price of 10 articles, find the profit percentage. अब अगर हमें पिछला क्वेश्चन क्लियर हुआ है, प्लस वी अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट दैट मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर इज द रेशियो ऑफ सेलिंग प्राइस इज टू कॉस्ट प्राइस, दैट्स अ वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. देन द कॉस्ट प्राइस ऑफ 12 आर्टिकल्स, सो 12 आर्टिकल्स का जो कॉस्ट प्राइस है, 12 आर्टिकल्स का जो कॉस्ट प्राइस है वो 10 आर्टिकल्स के सेलिंग प्राइस के बराबर है. सो कैन आई से अगर मैं एक आर्टिकल के कॉस्ट प्राइस को x मानता हूं तो 12 आर्टिकल्स का कॉस्ट प्राइस 12x हो जाएगा, और अगर मैं एक आर्टिकल के सेलिंग प्राइस को y मानता हूं तो सेलिंग प्राइस 10y हो जाएगा. These two are equal. Now what do I define here? I define y by x, which is the ratio of selling price is to cost price. That ends up becoming 12 by 10. So can I say multiplying factor is 1.2 or perhaps profit is 20%? Ramlal buys 30 safety pins for $1. How many pins should be sold per dollar to gain 20%? I can begin the question by assuming that he is selling X pins for $1. If Ramlal buys 30 pins for $1, then can I say that the cost price of one pin is going to be 1 by 30 of $1? If he sells X pins for $1, can I say that the selling price of one pin is going to be 1 by X of $1? I define multiplying factor as 1.2 because उसको 20% profit बनाना है. Also, multiplying factor is defined as the ratio of selling price and cost price. So can I say the initial selling price is 1 by X, the initial cost price is 1 by 30 and इनका रेशियो लेकर मेरे पास 1.2 आना चाहिए. इसको सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. So that gets you 30 by X is equals to 1.2 which is 12 by 10. Furthermore 3 से कटिंग करने पे that gets you 10 here and that gets you 4 here. Furthermore X का वैल्यू जो मेरे पास आएगा that will be 100 by 4 or perhaps 25. So Ramlal should be selling 25 pins for $1 to make a profit of 20%. On buying and selling 20 meters of cloth, a merchant made a profit equal to the selling price of 4 meters. Find the profit percentage. This question simply states that एक merchant ने 20 मीटर कपड़ा खरीदा और 20 मीटर कपड़ा बेचा और इसमें जो उसे प्रॉफिट हुआ वो 4 मीटर कपड़े के सेलिंग प्राइस के बराबर था. I begin the question by assuming the cost price of 1 meter of cloth as X and the selling price of 1 meter of cloth as Y. अब ये 20 मीटर कपड़ा खरीद रहा है और 20 मीटर कपड़ा बेच रहा है. सो कहना है इसे 20 मीटर कपड़े का जो कॉस्ट प्राइस है वो 20x हो जाएगा और 20 मीटर कपड़े का जो सेलिंग प्राइस है वो 20y हो जाएगा. प्रॉफिट इज ऑलवेज डिफाइंड एज सेलिंग प्राइस माइनस कॉस्ट प्राइस एंड एज पर द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ माय क्वेश्चन ये जो प्रॉफिट है ये 4 मीटर कपड़े के सेलिंग प्राइस के बराबर है. अब 1 मीटर कपड़े का सेलिंग प्राइस अगर मैं y सपोज कर रहा हूं तो 4 मीटर कपड़े का सेलिंग प्राइस 4y हो जाएगा. सो माय इक्वेशन बिकम्स प्रॉफिट इज इक्वल्स टू सेलिंग प्राइस माइनस कॉस्ट प्राइस. इसको सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. 20x इधर आ जाएगा, दूसरी साइड पे मेरे पास 16y आ जाएगा. सो व्हाट डू आई हैव हियर? आई हैव हियर इज y by x which ends up becoming 20 by 16. Furthermore, this is 5 by 4. Your y by x represented your multiplying factor. After all, y क्या था? y selling price था, x क्या था? cost price था. So y by x is selling price by cost price which is multiplying factor which is 5 by 4 or perhaps 1.25. If your multiplying factor is 1.25, your profit percentage has to be 25%. Now, with this we cover up the basic examples of multiplying factor. This question can also be solved using the concept of margin and margin percentage. So in the next segment of the lecture, we will be moving on to the concept of margin and margin percentage, and after that we would be reviewing this particular question again. Most of the time we define profit with respect to the cost price. However, there are certain cases जहाँ पे हम प्रॉफिट को सेलिंग प्राइस के रिस्पेक्ट में डिफाइन करते हैं. जब प्रॉफिट सेलिंग प्राइस के रिस्पेक्ट में डिफाइन किया जाए, दैट इज मार्जिन. लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल हियर. लेट अस से मैंने किसी आर्टिकल को 80 रुपीज का खरीदा. सो इट वाज एनी रैंडम आर्टिकल एक्स जिसको मैंने 80 रुपीज का खरीदा. नाउ आई एम सेलिंग दिस आर्टिकल फॉर 100 रुपीज. सो कैन आई से ये मेरा कॉस्ट प्राइस है, 80 रुपीज मेरा कॉस्ट प्राइस है और 100 रुपीज मेरा सेलिंग प्राइस है. Profit in this case is of course defined as the difference of the two. So profit that we are getting here is 20%. If you are defining profit percentage, then that would be defined as profit in comparison to the cost price. So profit percentage ends up becoming 25%. There are some cases जहाँ पे हम profit को cost price में define करने के बजाय या cost price के respect में define करने के बजाय उसे selling price के respect में define करते हैं. If I have to define the margin here, margin will be defined as the profit with respect to the selling price. As you can observe here, the margin percentage that we have here is 20%. Basically, X रुपीस की रेवेन्यू के ऊपर मुझे कितना प्रॉफिट मिलता है वो मार्जिन है. X रुपीस की चीजें बेचने पर मुझे कितना प्रॉफिट मिलता है वो मार्जिन है. Remember, margin is always defined with respect to the selling price. profit is defined with respect to cost price while margin is defined with respect to selling price. एंड क्योंकि जब हम प्रॉफिट की बात करते हैं वहां पे मेरा सेलिंग प्राइस हमेशा कॉस्ट प्राइस से बड़ा होता है, एज अ रिजल्ट मेरा प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज हमेशा मार्जिन परसेंटेज से बड़ा होता है. दैट्स इट. दिस इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ मार्जिन एंड मार्जिन परसेंटेज. The next thing that we need to understand here is that margin percentage and profit percentage are interconvertible. Let's take an example. Let us say in one particular question it was given to me that the profit percentage is 20% and I am required to find the margin percentage. इस क्वेश्चन को 100 रुपीज के टर्म्स में सोचा जा सकता है. कहना है से अगर मेरा कॉस्ट प्राइस 100 रुपीज है तो 20% प्रॉफिट वुड मीन 20 रुपीज का प्रॉफिट एंड 120 रुपए का सेलिंग प्राइस. मार्जिन इज डिफाइंड एज प्रॉफिट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू सेलिंग प्राइस. प्रॉफिट तो 20 रुपए का ही है लेकिन सेलिंग प्राइस या बेस वैल्यू अब 100 की बजाय 120 हो गया. सो 20 कंपेयर्ड विद 120 गेट्स मी अ मार्जिन परसेंटेज ऑफ 16.66%. लेट्स टेक अनदर एग्जांपल. लेट अस से दैट द प्रॉफिट दैट आई हैव हियर has been given to me as 50%. I have to find the margin percentage. Again, think of the question in terms of cost price being 100 rupees. कहना है से अगर 100 rupees cost price है और profit percentage 50 है तो that simply means कि जो मेरा profit होगा वो 50 rupees होगा और 50 rupees का profit will take the selling price to 150. Now if a profit of 50 rupees is made over a selling price of 150, कहना है से the margin percentage will be 33.33%. The other way around is also true. Let us say that the margin percentage is given to me as 25%. See, if the margin percentage is given to me as 25%, I can assume the selling price to be 100 rupees. If I assume the selling price to be 100 rupees, margin is profit with respect to selling price. So if I am supposing the selling price to be 100 rupees, a margin of 25% means 25 rupees का profit, which means the cost price should be 75 rupees. अब अगर 75 rupees के cost price के ऊपर 25 rupees का profit हो रहा है तो कहना है से profit percentage will be defined as 25 by 75 into 100 or 33.33%. Last example, let us say that the margin that I am given here or margin percentage that I am given here is given to me as 50%. Now if the margin is given to me as 50%, can I say if I suppose the selling price to be 100 rupees, then a margin of 50% would imply that इस 100 rupees में से 50 rupees का profit है. अगर 50 रुपीज का प्रॉफिट है तो कॉस्ट प्राइस 50 रुपीज बचता है. नाउ कैन आई से प्रॉफिट इज डिफाइंड एज प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज इज डिफाइंड एज प्रॉफिट ओवर कॉस्ट प्राइस. सो 50 रुपीज का प्रॉफिट ओवर 50 रुपीज का कॉस्ट प्राइस, प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज इज 100%. आई एज्यूम दैट वी आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कंसेप्ट ऑफ मार्जिन एंड मार्जिन परसेंटेज हियर. लेट अस यूज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ मार्जिन एंड मार्जिन परसेंटेज to review our previous example. On buying and selling 20 meters of cloth, a merchant made a profit equal to the selling price of 4 meters. Find his profit percentage. क्वेश्चन बिल्कुल सिंपल तरीके में मुझे क्या बताता है? मुझे क्वेश्चन बिल्कुल सिंपल तरीके में बताता है कि 4 मीटर का प्रॉफिट होता है 20 मीटर को बेचने पे. अब मैं यहाँ पे सेलिंग प्राइस के साथ प्रॉफिट को कंपेयर कर रहा हूँ तो कहना है से यहाँ पे जो मार्जिन परसेंटेज है वो डायरेक्टली 20 आ जाता है. इफ माई मार्जिन इज 20%, नाउ आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज. सी, मार्जिन 20% का मतलब क्या है? मार्जिन 20% का सिंपल मतलब ये है कि सेलिंग प्राइस को 100 एज्यूम करने पे 20 रुपए का प्रॉफिट है और 80 रुपए का कॉस्ट प्राइस है. अब अगर 20 रुपए का प्रॉफिट 80 रुपए के कॉस्ट प्राइस पे है तो कहना है डायरेक्टली से दैट द प्रॉफिट परसेंटेज हैज टू बी 25%. अगेन एन ऑल्टरनेटिव वे ऑफ सॉल्विंग द सेम क्वेश्चन. हमने पिछले क्वेश्चन में चीजों को प्रॉफिट और लॉस के कंसेप्ट में सोचा था. इस मेथड में हमने सेम क्वेश्चन को मार्जिन के कंसेप्ट में सोचा है। I'll again repeat here, मार्जिन का कंसेप्ट ज़्यादा हमारे पेपर में कहीं पे काम नहीं आता. It is very rare that you encounter a question of margin. But yes, it's a useful concept to know. Moreover, there are certain questions where we can exploit the fact that percentage profit and percentage margin are interconvertible. With this, we end with our first lecture of profit, loss and discount. The second part of the first lecture will be simply covering advanced questions of profit, loss and discount. इस पॉइंट पे हमने प्रॉफिट लॉस डिस्काउंट के पहले लेक्चर का थ्योरी खत्म कर दिया है. वी हैव कवर्ड द बेसिक थ्योरी ऑफ प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस and we have covered some basic examples based on that theory. In the second part of the lecture, we will be moving on to the advanced concepts and advanced questions of profit and loss.